Morning begins with a basket by the door and the feeling that today will be slower than usual. The mother folds a cloth over warm bread, tucking the corners with careful hands. The father checks the lid twice because the soup must not spill before lunch. The daughter chooses one tiny toy to bring, then changes her mind, then chooses again. Outside, the village road is still damp, and the air smells like leaves and breakfast smoke. They step out together, carrying lunch, blankets, and the small excitement of a day away. The walk to the bus stop is short, but the daughter treats it like an expedition. The father pretends not to hurry, even though the bus could arrive any minute. At the bus stop, the bench is empty except for a few fallen petals. The mother sets the basket down, and the daughter climbs onto the bench like a queen. In the distance, the old bus appears as a little green shape between the trees. It sighs to a stop with a soft puff, as if it has been climbing hills all morning. The driver opens the door and nods like he knows every picnic in the valley. The daughter steps in first, holding the rail with both hands. The father lifts the basket into the overhead rack, very slowly, very seriously. The mother smooths the daughter's dress before they sit by the window. The bus begins to move, and the whole village starts drifting backward. The daughter counts telephone poles until she loses count and starts again. The father closes his eyes for 1 minute and misses 3 whole hills. The driver rings a tiny bell before each bend, soft and bright. The road climbs higher, and the village becomes a patchwork of roofs behind them. Sunlight slips through the windows and lands in warm squares on the floor. The mother opens a paper packet and gives the daughter a small rice cracker. Cloud shadows move across the fields, chasing the bus like quiet animals. At the river bridge, the water flashes silver beneath the wheels. The daughter presses her hand to the glass, following the river until it disappears. Soon the driver calls their stop with a gentle wave of his hand. The father pulls the basket down, and this time, nothing spills. They step off beside a meadow where the grass is almost taller than the daughter. The bus rolls away, leaving only dust, birds, and the soft ticking of insects. For a moment, the family just stands there, listening to the open space. Then the daughter runs ahead because every picnic needs a scout. The mother calls her back gently, and the daughter pretends not to hear for 3 steps. They find a path under willow branches, cool and green. The father carries the basket like it is the most important luggage in the world. A dragonfly hovers near the daughter, blue as a tiny piece of sky. The river makes a small, bright sound over stones. They choose a spot where the tree shade moves but never completely leaves. The blanket opens with a soft flap and becomes their little island. The daughter places stones on the corners, very proud of this important job. The basket opens and lunch appears piece by piece like a quiet magic trick. There is bread, soup, pickled vegetables, peaches, and a small cake wrapped in paper. The father cuts peaches with a pocket knife, making each slice shine. The daughter eats the first slice too quickly and gets juice on her chin. They laugh softly, because outdoors even small mistakes feel lighter. A breeze lifts the napkins, and everyone reaches at the same time. The daughter chases it with heroic seriousness. She catches it just before the river and bows to no one in particular. After lunch, the father lies back and watches clouds travel over the willow leaves. The mother reads a small book but keeps losing her place to the sound of water. The daughter builds a village from pebbles and calls it a kingdom. A beetle walks through the kingdom and becomes a visiting giant. Later, they walk into the forest shade to cool their faces. The path smells like moss, damp bark, and hidden mushrooms. The father points out a bird nest, but they only look from far away. The mother finds a leaf shaped like a little fan. The daughter carries it carefully, as if it might start flying. At the hilltop, the valley opens so wide that everyone grows quiet. Even the daughter whispers, because the sky feels close enough to hear. They sit for a while, letting the afternoon rest around them. The father unwraps the small cake, which somehow survived the entire journey. The daughter claps once, then covers her mouth like the cake might be shy. They share it in 3 uneven pieces, and nobody complains. By late afternoon, the light turns golden and the blanket begins to cool. The mother packs the bowls, wiping each one with a corner of cloth. The father checks the grass twice, making sure nothing is left behind. The daughter says goodbye to the Pebble Kingdom before taking 1 stone home. They fold the blanket together, trapping a little outdoor smell inside. The walk back to the road feels slower, but nobody minds. The daughter grows sleepy and holds the mother's hand without being asked. At the stop, the evening air is cooler, and the shadows are long. The old bus returns with its windows glowing like small lanterns. The driver smiles, as if he knew they would bring back a heavier kind of quiet. Inside, the bus is dimmer, softer, and full of evening murmurs. The basket rests at their feet, empty but somehow important. The daughter leans against the mother, fighting sleep and losing politely. The father watches the dark fields pass like pieces of a dream. The driver rings the bell for the last bend before the village. The first cottage lights appear one by one between the trees. The daughter wakes just enough to ask if the picnic is over. The mother says yes, but tomorrow will still remember it. They step off at the quiet village stop, under a sky full of blue evening. The bus rolls away, carrying its little lantern windows down the road. The walk home is almost silent except for the basket handle creaking. At the door, the daughter shows the little stone one last time. The mother places it on the windowsill, where tomorrow's sun will find it. The father sets the empty basket by the door, ready to become a promise again. Night settles over the cottage, and the road outside becomes quiet once more. Some days are not remembered because they were large. Some days are remembered because they were small enough to hold.